that's an issue that's very serious and difficult for somebody's sexuality. In England, in America, I think it's quite pleasant to be a homosexual. And from my own point of view, I have worked, after all, from the age of 20, consistently onwards. I've never wanted for anything. I've always been able to pay my bills. I've done very, very well. So I've got nothing, in one sense, to complain about. So I have to look at it from that perspective also. I can't go on a rant about it just because I haven't been able to elbow my way above the middle.
Slightly above the middle.
Slightly above the middle, or wherever I've elbowed my way to.
Important to avoid that. I mean, to go whinging about your career all the time. And so you don't want to fall into that trap?
No, I don't mind falling into that trap, except it's just not... I'm not really whinging about it that much. I think every performer wants more. I think, show business is ideally suited for heterosexuals. It's a very heterosexual business. It's run mostly by heterosexual men, and there's a kind of a pecking order. Women, actually, I think the position of women is a pretty difficult one in show business. If you look at the idea of a drunk woman in show business on the skids, age 50, and a drunken man in show business on the skids, the drunken man gets an awful lot of support, and the woman is a slut. Still, I think that there's a very sexist attitude to things.
But look, this is fascinating because it's a very liberal world, politically liberal world, Hollywood. I mean, it's famously...
It's not at all.
Is it not? I mean, the Republicans are always criticising Hollywood for not having family values.
Yes, but it's very, very conservative, Hollywood. It's an extremely conservative world. It pretends it's a liberal world. There's nothing liberal about it at all.
Let's go back to film, because it is an interesting business, show business. So, if you're a woman watching a film, okay, with a handsome lead actor in it, does it matter to that woman whether the actor, not the character, but the actor is gay or straight, do you think?
No, because the audience have a completely different perception of performers than the business. But the business is what makes the stars, really. If you look and analyse the careers of many, many stars, you'll find that they're mostly sustained by the business. I'm not going to start naming names of people who've had films that have not succeeded at the box office, but you'll find there's lots of women and lots of men in the business that the powers that be decide are the right people for their business, and they'll stand with them for quite a long time. Something will go wrong, like Jennifer Aniston will have just one too many total flops, but she's still a member of that club, and she will still manage to, like a star forming in the universe, a whole lot of things will swirl around and it'll suddenly solidify into another vital, tasteless rom-com, that'll glitter next to the Crab Nebula.
Colin Firth and quite a few straight actors have played gay roles. Do any of those performances stick out for you? Colin Firth in Mamma Mia, for example?
Colin Firth, I don't think was at all good in Mamma Mia. In fact, I would have thought it was a kind of career-side performance, but show business is extraordinary.
He survived.
On the other hand, I think his performance in A Single Man was the best performance of his life.
Has he deprived gay actors of a role by taking that role, though? I wonder whether they, because you might find it harder to get straight roles, whether, straight actors should be snaffling all the gay ones.
I don't think he has, in one sense. Now a lot of straight actors are actively searching for gay roles because it's something different to do, and I think that's fine. It does mean that the gay actor who used to just get to play the gay part, like me, has been reduced to drag, really, is the way I look at it, because here I am then kind of marooned on St. Trinian's. And but whatever.
Every gay person has great memories, perhaps traumatic, perhaps unstressful, of coming out. I mean, when you came out, what was the professional reaction? Did people say things, do things? Did you suddenly find they looked at you in a different way? What was the Hollywood reaction?
Nothing very much. I just never got a job there, really, and I never got a job here after. I did a couple of films. I was very lucky at the very beginning of my career. I did my first film was Another Country, which I did with Colin, which was very successful. And the second film I did was Dance with a Stranger with Miranda Richardson, which was also very successful. And then I never had another job here for, 10 years probably, and I moved to Europe.
In Hollywood, there are gay actors who, I suppose, listened to your advice or looked at your experience, or who have decided whatever reasons, that it's better to do a Rock Hudson and just to
Oh yes,
stay
there's
mum.
many of them. And I don't blame them. I think it's very sensible. If I hadn't been someone who liked going out, and if I hadn't been a kind of sex maniac and all those kind of things, and wanted to go to raves and circuit parties, I would have definitely stayed in the closet as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So it was really about the fact you just were too likely to be caught.
Complicated. It would have been too complicated for me to tell the lie. I remember my literary agent, a great guy called Ed Victor, was with the man who really is the only kind of proper producer in England. And Ed said, "Can't you get some roles for Rupert?" And he said, "Oh God, I wish I could, but there's just nothing he's right for." That's the level of the phobia about me. Like that, you can't say whether you like me or don't like me as an actor, which is fair enough if you might think I'm a limited actor. But compared to Hugh and Colin, I'm more or less in the same territory. I can pull some old thing out of the bag in the same way that they can. The feeling from him, it's not a dishonest feeling. He thinks of me as, 5 years ago, muscly queen, and that's that.